B main winner. The 66 of Ben Norman will start out at 21. Our last qualifier, the 69 of Paul Joss. Good to see Aaron Sutton make the field, but here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Time to get on your feet, make some noise, show your appreciation as we go 4 wide.
There's still 24 cars. Sorry? There's still 24 cars.
They pushed Aaron Sutton in.
Oh,
He was
right.
supposed to be a pole in the B-Mag, so that's
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm with you.
Even get those flags waving for the 24 qualifiers for today's Brian Rose Memorial. Thanks to East Pilbara Tyre Services and Scarterfield Smash Repairs. And what about yous on turns 3 and 4? We're going the right way for the 30-lap journey. The stars and cars of today's Brian Rose Memorial. They dub them the class that pass the street stocks. One more time along the front straight. The appreciation is due for our 24 tin top warriors who'll get set to go back into 2 by 2. Hammond and Damon Lyle, our top point scorer after day number 1. Oldfield and Wakefield, Oldfield and White, Thompson, Briggs, Kempton, Norman. Here we go for 30 laps of Brian Rose Memorial here at the Ellenbrook Speedway. Let's get dirty for 30. We make it through turn number 1. No, we don't. As there's been contact near the back of the field. Ryan Penfold was spun around in 24 cars, did not make their way through turns number 1 and 2 in a safe manner. We'll line them up again. Our pole man, well, was meant to be our pole man, our highest point scorer, Cody Avens, from position number 24. We've stacked them again. The lights are out. 30 laps around the Ellenbrook Speedway. It's a tricky form. Let's see if we take them off again. Hammond and Lyle lead us to the green. Lyle has a big moment, so does Wakefield as Wyatt has clawed his way through. It's been a horrible start for car number 21 who decided to try the high side. So does Lyle as well, but the yellows are out again as we've got Donna Vanzetti around in turn 1. One car with a whole heap of smoke. As the action comes to a slow again, it's Donna Vanzetti that's parked the car on turn number 1. Marty Kelly's pulled to the infield already. He looks like he's got damage to the rear of that car. As the work goes to the 14 as well, the Brunswick green of Kenny McPherson. To take us through the now 23 cars left on as we've lost Marty Kelly. As we come through again for a start, let's see if we can get through tank number 3. They say good things coming through. Let's try this time for Hammond and Lyle. Michael Hammond seems to get the jump, but Damon Lyle on the top side is going to have one driver who's going to push him the whole way through as Lyle gets the upper hand and on 2 wheels as well. He rode that thing like a cattle he could. He'll lead lap number 1 as the top 3 have charged away. Lyle and Oldfield are going to try the whole hog around the outside. And that two-wheel stanza has not scared Lyle off one bit. As Briggs goes wide, he loses a whole chunk of ground. Stephanie Amaturi starting to come through the field as well. But can the 27 last for 30 laps running the rail? Hammond goes back to the inside as then Gordon White in the 95. Substitute car for the 95 as Oldfield tries and slides in front of Wakefield. It's an Oldfield sandwich at the moment with Evan Wakefield the meat in the middle at the moment. So they try to get through at Gordon White, who's sliding in front of Oldfield. Lyle still by 2 car lengths leads. There's a gallagher of cars charging the whole way through, but the top 2 have cleared away from anyone else. Look at the run from the 27 off turn number 2. We continue on with EL the Nation. There's going to be a movement after this one. Oldfield tries to the outside. Wakefield's following through as Gordon White makes it an EL 1-2. The 2 Oldfields are side by side with Warren now, who's won this race twice compared to his older brother 10 times, as he's right up against the wall with Wakefield, a clash of the sparks. As he hits the turn 2 concrete wall. Hammond though is back on the inside. So we go back to the lead. Hammond now will lead lap number 5 in car number 5. Is it for good though? That's the question. He got the better of it. So they pass the line. Avens has not clawed back a position at all. In fact, he's only got past 2. He's back in 27 as 8 Wakefield slowed. The 21 is coming to a halt along the back straight, and it's what been such a great run for Wakefield so far this weekend. Has gone into a cloud of smoke as your leaders charged away. Lyle now has come into the clutches of White. So too Warren Oldfield as Wakefield will go to the infield. It's 4 of them fighting out as Damon Thompson's also into game now. Thompson now rounds out your top 5. Back then to Oldfield with Heyman Norman, who's come out of nowhere in the Michael Conley FGX to be chasing down our West Australian champion. Oldfield loves the fight, and there's 2 of them battling at the moment. Oldfield's in the middle of an EL pendant as 3 of them do battle with car number 51. Look at the gather of cars right behind them, as there's an absolute wall of cars from 5th on back. Right behind our state champion, the top 5 have cleared. How much would Michael Hammond love to have this one on the resume? This one in the state championship has eluded himself for so long, but he leads by a straight now from Damon Thompson, as Ken McPherson's the next one to go through onto the infield. 5 cars under a blanket now, as Stephanie Amaturi has come into 10th place. The lady racer is starting to show her stripes right now, rolling the bottom in a great run. She's in front of some mega star street stock drivers in Paul Briggs, who's finished inside the WA number 2 spot in a state title. Paul Johnson, Craig Clayton are also there. The top 5 are clear. Those are the ones that are going to be battling for positions at the moment, as Donna Vanzetti will become a lap down with 10 laps down. 20 to go for our race leader, Michael Hammond. Damon Lyle finally with a breath of fresh air over the 3 cars that have been charging throughout him this entire race. White in a substitute car, if you don't mind as well, is coming for the race of his life at the moment, as it's Falcon 2, 3 and 4 being split by 2 Commodores of Hammond, our race leader, and Warren Oldfield, who's left his brother for dead actually. Damon Lyle has not stopped persisting with his high side, but he's been unable to hold on to the back bumper of the 5 machine as this race has gone on. Hammond's just racing the life as he can. Lyle is backing it in as hard as he possibly can in the slick miss that we call Ellenbrook Speedway. Donna Vanzetti about to come a lap down with 17 laps remaining in what has been an insane final that we've seen so far. Lyle, can I sense he's starting to clash as he hits the cushion? A big side step. He's gone on 2 wheels multiple times so far during this one. But the pedal is from 6 on back as Oldfield's finally started to clear away. from Paul Briggs. Stephanie Amajuri's been the biggest move of this race at the moment, just rolling down the bottom.
She has indeed, Morgan Melbourne. We're halfway home in the Brian Rose Memorial for 2020, brought to you by East Pilbara Tyre Service and Damon Lyle. Not sure he's going to have enough racetrack to work with to try and run down our race leader, Mick Hammond. But from 6th on back, it's anyone's race. And Jamie Oldfield just not a factor in this race at the moment. He's holding off Paul Briggs. And Stephanie Amajuri's had her best race meeting in a street stock. Ahead of Jace Kempton and Hayden Norman, defending champion of this race, rounds out your top 10. Damon Lyle, ever so slightly, is reeling in our race leader, Mick Hammond, with 14 laps remaining of the Ellenbrook Speedway. In one of the biggest street stock events in the country, Damon Lyle is throwing the EL Falcon around, trying to reel in the two-time national champion. Outside of those national titles, Mick Hammond, he hasn't won a state title, he hasn't won a Brian Rose. Can he do it in 2020? He brings the Hammond Tire and Exhaust Commodore out of turn 4 with 13 laps remaining. Damon Lyle, his best performance at Ellenbrook in his career, outstanding so far, to sit in second and in contention to try and reel in Mick Hammond in the concluding stages of this one. Gordon White's been outstanding this weekend across the two cars that he's campaigned. He's in Kevin's car for the A-Main. He sits in third from Damon Thompson, and Warren Oldfield is a two-time winner of this event. Would love to climb onto the podium in the Scudderfield Smash Repairs number 51 Commodore. Paul Briggs is now 6th, and Jamie Oldfield's car is now starting to show signs of distress. Smoke coming from the Novell Smash Repairs Commodore just ahead of Stephanie Amajuri. Jace Kempton is 9th, and now in the top 10 is Gavin Minty. He's found a way past Hayden Norman. He's got Clayton Lee, Paul Joss and Cody Avens, whose Ford Falcon has sounded like a Massey Ferguson tractor in this race. Is behind him the original pollster who took the money to start from the back of the bus. And the battle really raging for third between Gordon White and the in the 95 Falcon from Moore and Collies, Damon Thompson. Damon Thompson has gained a lot of experience over the last 5 years in street stock racing across Australia and is starting to pay dividends in one of the big events. He's in contention to finish on the podium this afternoon. Mick Hammond, the two-time national champ, brings the Commodore into Les Carroll corner. Damon Lyle still persisting half-track high, trying to reel him in car number 27 for Novus Glass in Carnarvon. And that fantastic battle for third and fourth continues between White and Thompson. They've put a bit of real estate between themselves, and Warren Oldfield is 5th. From Colley's Paul Briggs, Jamie Oldfield, he's not given up yet. He's still sitting there in 7th. In the Novell Smash Repairs Commodore from Stephanie Amajuri, Jace Kempton, and Gavin Minty is still 10th as Hayden Norman now falling through the field. 9 laps remaining in the Brian Rose Memorial. In fact, there'll be 8 this time around as Aaron Sutton retires from the race in the Carbusters Falcon, one of the two Sutton brothers that have qualified for the A-Main in 2020. 7 to run, I believe. 7 laps remaining. 8 to run in actual fact. 8 to run in this main event, and I don't think Damon Lyle's got anything for Mick Hammond at the moment without a stoppage. There's smoke coming from the Oldfield car, and Stephanie Amajuri now challenging Paul Briggs for 6th place. What an outstanding drive Stephanie Amajuri's put in today in the Talkware Australia Ford Falcon for DVF Plumbing. As Mick Hammond just coming up on a little bit of lap traffic now, onto the tail end of Ryan Penfold and Tyler Domain in front of him, and Amajuri now clearly in 6th. Briggs back to 7th from Oldfield, Kempton, and Minty is your top 10. Will the lap traffic play a factor? Mick Hammond brings the Hammond Tire and Exhaust Commodore into the front straight, just up on the back bumper of Ryan Penfold. He gets the passing flag. There's Ryan Penfold that time around. Damon Lyle has been outstanding this weekend. He's been in great form the last couple of weeks. Had a big win in Broome 3 weeks ago. To finish runner-up in this event would be to Mick Hammond, who's a two-time national champion, would be an outstanding performance, and it'll be a happy trip back to the northwest for the Lyle family, as Mick Hammond just negotiating the 20 car of Tyler Domain. Let's hope Tyler doesn't try and race the leader, as I think Damon Thompson might be in a little bit of distress. He's just lost ground with Kevin White. I think he's had half a lose. This might give Warren Oldfield the opportunity to challenge for 4th place in the Ultra Engines Commodore. And speaking of Falcons, look who's arriving on the scene, wheeling the Falcon into the top 5 is Stephanie Amajuri. Finished on a podium in a junior sedan state title in 2017 at Bunbury, but you have to feel this is her best performance since that weekend. She's been brilliant today, now challenging Warren Oldfield for a top 5 position. Paul Briggs still 7th from Oldfield, Kempton, Minty, Paul Joss just outside the top 10, Clayton Blee and Craig Clayton. East Pilbara Tyre Service Falcon is in 13th place. Not too many more laps left in this one for Mick Hammond. 3 to run in actual fact. And he wouldn't be aware that Damon Lyle has a lot of real estate to make up. 3 free to run as Amajiri goes to 5th. Amajiri down the inside of Warren Oldfield. 2.5 and make that 2 laps remaining this time around for Mick Hammond. 2 to run of Ellenbrook Speedway for his biggest win at this venue. He's done a lot of racing here over the years from his Bunbury base. Been on the podium in a 3-stock state title here many moons ago, but can he bring it home in car number 5 for the weekend? 7 on the door, past the club rooms for the second last time, and down the back straight. He qualified on the front row. We're going to interview the top 3 trackside straight after this race, but the white flag for Mick Hammond, the 2-time national champion, looking for his biggest 3-stock win outside of those 2 national titles. Oh, Damon Lyle banging the wall as he comes past the main straight. Let's hope there's not too much damage to the 27 Falcon. He might have thrown second place away. Gordon White is storming home, but through turns 3 and 4 for the last time. Bunbury's Mick Hammond is going to cause a massive upset this afternoon at Ellenbrook Speedway. Mick Hammond, the 2-time national champion, now has the Brian Rose Memorial to his impressive resume. Damon Lyle, absolutely outstanding job this weekend to finish second from Gordon White, Damon Thompson and Stephanie Amajiri. Unbelievable. Into the top 5 by race end. Warren Oldfield 6th from Paul Briggs. Chase Kempton steals 8th on the line from Jamie Oldfield, who will finish 9th, and Gavin Minty rounds out your top 10. But the 2012 and 2008 National 3-stock champion Mick Hammond is now a winner of the Brian Rose Memorial, brought to you this weekend by East Pilbara Tyre Service. Outstanding drive, start on the front row.